Greetings, fellow humans. I am Hugh.
And I am Man.
And together we are definitely not
Two
kobolds in a trench coat. We enjoy human activities, such as paying taxes,
having existential crises,
and RPG horror stories. Let's see what we've got today. Today, we have a messed up Brony story, a group who felt a 10-year age gap was too much for a party, a transphobic DM bent on murdering a player's characters, a player who wrote erotic fanfiction about a player character then showed it to the party, and a betrayal gone wrong. These disgusting bronies ruined D&D campaign within seconds, by Reddit user crossover_DBS Broly. So here's the story that I want to tell something about. Trigger warning, they are sexualizing my character with ponies and Gojo Satoru. Beware, since viewer discretion is strictly advised, and trust me, it's freaking bad. If you feel uncomfortable from it, then stop reading as soon as possible. I don't want to ruin your sanity because of this, and if you want to risk yourself from this cringe, sure, endure the pain. So like what I said earlier in general chat, in Quick Crab's Discord server, about my experiences in D&D, there's something else far worse than I thought it would be. I'm actually 18, but still I can find someone so disappointing because of their fatherless behaviour. Yes, in the game, I was the only guy there, and there were a bunch of 14-year-old girls. Let's just call them Fodder 1, Fodder 2, Fodder 3, Fodder 4, Fodder 5, and Simp Mastermind. Of course, I didn't do anything stupid in there, just chilling with my goblin character. That's it. And yes, I made a character that was weakest. Not Mary Sue. Not a fodder, not a cliche character with boring one-dimensional goals just like in cartoons or anime like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece. It's just the weakest goblin ever existed. No pool BS or any overpowered secrets like the lore itself, just like Devil May Cry or Doom Eternal. Just the weakest goblin, who only dreamed about being the world's famous merchant by selling swords across the entire world and proving not all goblins are bad for gaining that dream he wanted. So they accepted, but there was something else. But whatsoever, I just decided to roll a dice, and the DM said that a goblin travelled across Equestria. Dude, what the hell is this? My Little Pony? That's what my younger sister was watching. A show about ponies with friendship. It's not really goated as Winx Club nor Sailor Moon, but this D&D is not My Little Pony, but I don't know. Well, I guess I have to play it, that's for sure. You know what? That's it. I'm out. I'm leaving. Okay, going. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Eject! This is the commander. Abandon ship. Abandon ship. Please for your life.
Okay, first of all, these aren't bronies. These are 14-year-old girls who like My Little Pony, which is normal for 14-year-old girls. You're the 18-year-old weirdo playing with 14-year-old girls.
I've got no idea what this guy was on, and I don't feel like I can read the rest of the story. They are clearly the problem here. They're going to be the problem here. And they've just inserted themselves into a game where type of game was something completely different and something completely fine. They're just an edgelord.
Well, I love it too that he's like, oh, this isn't My Little Pony, but whatever. I guess I just have to play. Like, no, you don't. You can just leave. That's an option.
This is such 18-year-old teenage boy, and I'm sorry to any 18-year-old teenage boys listening. I'm sure you're not all the same. This just feels like he can't get over his edginess, ingrained misogyny, bro attitude. It's weird that he's calling them bronies when he's got the bro attitude. And I don't think we're going to finish reading this today. But if you want to hear the rest of this car crash, do let us know. We'll see if we can finish it.
The day I learned that an age gap is a red flag, by Reddit user iPlayTimo support. My last campaign fizzled out of existence about 6 months ago, and recently I got in the mood to try and find a new one. So far, it's been hit and miss, but 2 of the misses are really odd to me, since the main reason for the rejection is the age difference. I'm in my mid-30s, and even though I've been told that I sound like I'm in my early 20s, apparently, the age gap idea itself is too large of a red flag. They called it such. For some people. I don't really get what the big deal is. We're role-playing about being cat people, paladins, and anthropomorphic crows, not setting up dates on Tinder. The last DM who had an issue with this spent 6 hours setting me up for his custom roleplay setup only to back out at the very end for the same damn reason. If this starts happening often enough, maybe I'll start lying about my age and only come clean after a few sessions, or never. Of all the places to start to feel old, I didn't pick an online pretend game to be one of them.
I feel for you here, OP. I think your party are being a bit too precious about this. I don't necessarily feel like a 10-year age gap at the D&D table is automatically a problem. It can be if that older player starts doing certain things, but those kind of things usually come up in a game anyway, regardless of age gap.
I would say it would only be an issue if he was that age and the players were under the age of 18, but everybody is adults. They're all in their 20s and up, so the age gap really doesn't make a difference. In fact, having a variety of ages in your campaign can be good.
Absolutely, it can bring in a greater range of perspectives. People who have had 40 years of playing D&D and life will have very different views on the world and maybe roleplay very differently to those who have only just started. It could actually create some really interesting campaign dynamics.
I mean, maybe if he was an 18-year-old playing with 14-year-old girls, that would be a problem.
No. We don't talk about the so-called Bronies ever again. DM kills 2 of my characters and calls me a slur. By Reddit user, Penny into Quarters. Not entirely sure if this is a horror story because of me or the other players, but for context, I was playing in a 5e game in high school. Important people in this story are me, closeted trans person playing a human fighter and later a changeling warlock, DM the DM, Tiefling rogue, and some other non-human party members. In previous campaigns held by this group, there was a lot of PvP and loot goblin shenanigans, so I figured playing an antagonistic party member that would grow during the campaign wouldn't be too bad. So I rolled up a mildly racist fighter human. She grew on our orc party member, but Tiefling never gave a reason to trust her in-game. My character continues to not trust the Tiefling. Later on, DM vaporizes my character with an adult black dragon while we, the party, are level 3. Come to find out from someone else in our group, DM intentionally killed my character because she was a problem. Okay, that's fine. I figure, so I roll up a new character, a little silly changeling warlock who gets up the shenanigans with some of the other characters in the party, such as attempting to start a logging business with our Goliath party member. When I told the DM that said changeling uses female personas, I got heckled by the DM with him asking if I was insert slur for trans people repeatedly. Afterwards, DM began to get annoyed by my character's shenanigans, and instead of talking to me about it, DM had a trap in a dungeon absolutely crushed my changeling with a rock. No death saves, nothing. Just instant death, and mind you, this entire year-long campaign, my characters are the only ones who died. I thought the first death was fine, and even ended comically when the orc kept my fighter's remains in a jar, but it just became frustrating ultimately. The campaign fell apart shortly after, since school moved in 2020 for obvious reasons, but I'd just like to know, was I the problem player?
No. You are not the problem player, OP. I get that you might feel a little bit that way with your first character, and maybe you could have handled it a little bit better. The DM should have at least talked to you before vaporizing your character because it's a problem, rather than just nuking the character because they didn't like the way that you were role-playing it.
Ultimately, it doesn't sound like OP was engaging in that guy behavior or stuff that was too disruptive. Chaotic antagonistic characters are absolutely fine in a party. I've played a few of them myself, but they always have the ultimate goal of working with the party to achieve their objectives. And that's ultimately how you avoid being a problem as an antagonistic player, which doesn't sound like you were being, unless of course DM had a big problem with logging.
I mean, I will say that bit really did tickle me. I just love the idea of you being a chaotic character and starting a logging business together because why not? I just think that's brilliant roleplay. That's so fun.
Maybe the DM was the Lorax. They were very upset about your treatment of their trees.
Yeah, that's why they called you a T-slur.
The transphobic Lorax.
The lesser known of the Loraxes. Player wrote an erotic fanfiction about my character by Reddit user Kitty Heel. Back a couple years ago in college, I played with a group of people online. The party was pretty big, 6 people, but the important characters for the story are me, female orc bard, knight, female human fighter, and barbarian, male human barbarian. But What, not a Goliath barbarian? What?
Humans. We approve of the number of humans in this party. As a human, we like humans.
Very much like humans. As humans.
Usually with ketchup. Oops.
In this campaign, me and Knight's character, both women, were dating. Both players were into it, and the relationship was really cute. My character was an orc bard who was flavored to be smaller and weaker than most orcs. She was like the runt of the tribe and had to leave because she wasn't strong. Knight was, well, a knight whose lord had been defeated, leaving them as a sort of wandering vagabond. The two being outcasts of their own society led them to having a fun dynamic of roleplay. Barbarian was always the problem player, from an over-the-top backstory to ruining crucial moments to getting really mad over my supposedly weak character beating him at arm wrestling due to a nat 20. He always had a problem with the game. Throughout the game, my character and Knight had a number of cute scenes together, but nothing sexual or erotic. About halfway through, our characters went to an inn where we all got drunk. My character was being a bit flirty with some of the other characters and NPCs, including Barbarian, since she's a bard, and eventually, she got dragged away by Knight so she could go to sleep. I guess Barbarian got a little jealous that his character didn't get any sexy flirty date time with my character, because a couple of sessions later, he brought a multi-page erotic fanfiction between my character and his, complete with cringy anime hentai dialogue and everything. The entire group was disgusted. What makes this thing worse is that his girlfriend at the time was also playing in the group, and this barbarian had a bunch of flirty moments with hers already. I guess she wasn't enough for him. Not only that, but as I sort of mentioned earlier, my character was gay and dating another woman. She wouldn't normally be interested in Barbarian to begin with. This whole incident, plus a couple of others, really soured the group, and the campaign ended shortly after that. There's so many posts I could make about this group too before we broke up, so I'll probably make more in the future.
It could be quite a common thread throughout a lot of stories that the problem player has really poor social skills, but this is pretty dire. I think we might find more people than would admit have done erotic fan fiction about other people's characters in D&D campaigns, but they've had the good sense not to show that to anyone and just keep it to themselves. How the hell do you think bringing your erotic fan fiction of someone else's character to the game is a good idea?
With your girlfriend there.
But yeah, then you do it in front of your girlfriend when she's right there? Dude, get a clue.
I genuinely do not understand guys like this that are just that entitled. I mean, you think about like the last one that we read that was similar to this with the AI art. At least that guy had the decency to try and hide it and ran away when he got found out. This guy was like, yo, check out this really disgusting thing that I made. You're gonna love it. Like it wasn't gonna be a problem. And that on top of the whole, you know, straight guys trying to make gay girls not be gay.
Character Betrayal Backfires by Reddit user Fazatron. So I'll start this off by saying that in my playgroup, it's become a running joke that my characters always die, because well, they do. It doesn't matter if it's D&D or Fiasco, a long-running campaign or a one-shot. If a PC is going to die, chance has it's going to be mine. And last night, the trend continued. Can't remember the name of the game exactly, but it's powered by the Apocalypse system, D6 based. One of my friends was playing a character, Mickey Clarin, that he doesn't really like and actually wanted to get him off. The system is meant for you to play new characters frequently, but I thought I'd still help his wish to come true. Mickey had just overthrown the ruling class of his settlement, which I had been a part of, but it made sense for my character, Grant, to want to double cross him so that he could take charge as he saw Mickey as an idiot. Which he is. Also to be clear, this wasn't something I kept to myself. We all talked out loud about how it made sense that Grant would want to betray Mickey. So after Grant infiltrated an enemy encampment and found a weapon that he knew would be powerful to take out Mickey and his followers, it had just blown up a bunch of birds and resistant scientists. He made his move. So, he started monologuing to everyone about how Mickey was an awful leader. Unfortunately, Mickey happened to roll really well to keep everyone on his side. In fact, every roll that night had gone really well. Only successes and partial successes so far. And when I rolled to finally unleash the weapon, he succeeded again, making it out alive. So I decided to attack again, and rolled the first fail of the night. So not only did the weapon not fire, but it started to overheat. I was in a mech suit at the time, so I tried to escape, only to roll the second and only other fail of the night. So the weapon exploded with Grant still in it, killing him instantly. We all had a good laugh about it, especially since this is the second time we've tried to off Mickey, only for other characters to die in the process. Luckily, given how the system works with characters, it's not like this was a character I was attached to and Mickey will eventually be retired. But I think my playgroup learned a lesson last night. If you want to have a character killed, just have me play them.
I don't know if you're playing with virtual dice or IRL dice, but I think you need new dice, my dude.
Hey, I've once had 5 nat 20s out of 7 using online rolling. It can happen. I just think Mickey made the necessary sacrifices to Tiamat and the dice gods.
I don't know. I mean, this is obviously not a one-time thing. That's why I'm saying, OP, you need new dice. It's funny either way, given the fact that this guy really didn't want to play his character. So he was like, please do, off me, this'll be fun. And then he survives. The guy who's trying to kill him gets killed. That's funny enough. But the fact that OP has always gotten a character killed, oh god, you gotta feel cursed, right?
Hey man.
Hey, what?
What do you call a knight who's too afraid to fight?
I don't know.
Surrender. And with that, we have definitely not been two kobolds in a trench coat. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make the necessary sacrifices to Tiamat. We'll see you next time.